Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders in Great Millstone who rule well, teach well, with sincerity, honesty, and integrity. Brothers whose labor in his truth, putting their life on the line, especially in these times. Salutations to you, brothers. Any brothers, any very few sisters believe in his truth wholeheartedly and sincerely. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Yeah, man. Reason I'm doing this was a quick. I just wanted to do it. You know, I had a dream or a vision last night. Well, early this morning, I was sleeping. And I just wanted to do it while the spirit was on me instead of putting it off. So I'll just explain the vision. But and then I'll bring up some precepts with the spirit and power. Y'all B'Hashem Yahushai. Alright, praise lessons edifying. Alright, but yeah, I'll go out and explain the dream. So what happened was, and I wrote it down in bullets. I tried to, as soon as I woke up, I was gonna go back to sleep. And I was like, yeah, but then my spirit was telling me, go write it down and make an epistle on it. And then I was just gonna write it down and then go back to sleep. And then my spirit also told me, like, nah, just do it right now. So you gotta listen to your spirit. All right. So yeah, I'll go throughout I'll go through I wrote it in bullets because this, sometimes within the dream, it has like, you wake, like, I couldn't remember like every single part, but I remember the good 90% of what happened. All right. So, and it played out like a movie almost. Like it was like a movie, like, but it was like real, it was reality, but the way the scenes, it went from like scenes, like different scenes, cut from like different scene to scene. And then, yeah, but it was like reality because it was like me going throughout like not just a day, but a few days. I was just, but I'll explain it. All right, so what happened was one day, like it was just a nice day. I ended up, for some reason, was at my godbrother's house, and mind you, I haven't spoke to my godbrother in some years. Right in the beginning, probably when I got into this truth, so some years, almost 5 years now, 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, so I haven't spoke to him in a while, because when you first come in this truth, you want to tell everybody, man. It's like you received the good news, man. So it's like you can't contain it, but then you realize over time that everybody can, and they're not gonna be able to receive it. And then even before I got into the truth, like I used to, go, like they used to call me like a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist, not only just him, but everybody that because I was just going down that rabbit hole seeking information because I knew something was up. All the way back to like 08, 09, where I was like, I'll just give you a quick, just so you have an understanding, a little background of the dream, so you understand the dream a little bit. So, back then, like, I was like back in like 08, 09, 07, I don't know, around that time I was living in Atlanta. And my barber came to me one time. He was real cool. He came and he was like, yo, I got something to show you. And he had like a DVD. He had DVDs, multiple DVDs, like hours and hours of like stuff breaking down the Illuminati. And like all the information, not just on the entertainment, on numerology, I was just watching that for hours and hours, right? And so that from that point on, it was like I knew. It was like, wow, like I knew something was up. I knew something was up with this place. And I always tell brothers, like I even, throughout that time, like, all I did on the internet because in that time my roommate was my god brother in Atlanta. And I'll be just on the internet all day, all night, if I'm not working, just searching it, and that's when you can get everything off of the internet, YouTube, Google. Like it was more accessible. Everything was there. They didn't they didn't what you word they didn't try to hide information than like they do now. Like channels being like it was just different. So I'm just searching, man, just getting all this information. Like I even told the brothers, I was like, yeah, I know I came across the apostles, I came across all that. That's how I knew a little bit about, the Israelites and that we, from even my spirit always knew how Shah was black, but cause I was a Christian too. I grew up in the church, stuff like that, and family. Of course you lose you know, lose your way. You go probably be in the streets and stuff like that. But I always had a connection. I had the zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? But yeah, so I'm seeking and I'm looking almost like I was just consumed with that information, going down that rabbit hole. But the Lord didn't seem that it was fit and ready for me to come into this truth until when I came to this truth almost 5 years ago. Started getting this information. Yep, almost 5 years. 5 years now. About 4 to 5 years. Yeah, for 4 years and some change. 4 years, some change. But yeah. So that happened. But throughout that time, like my relationships, like I had a very, very close relationship with my god brother. That because we was just on different wavelengths. Like I'm still working and stuff like that. And then life happened. I moved back to Boston and stuff like that. And then, yeah, but go back to the story. And then, matter of fact, and also even over time, just like in the beginning of the truth, like even then, even my sister, me and her, we was very close, but we, fell. We don't really. It's not like how we don't basically talk to each other as much. All right, but I'll go into the dream now. I'm just giving you a little background to show you, like, cause I'm talking to these people, like, cause I don't really talk to these people at all. I mean, literally at all. All right, but go back to the dream. So I was talking to my god brother at his house, and then we was talking about current events. I was telling him because things was going on in the world like it was being heightened. Um, and I was talking and I was just like, yeah. And then even then he was starting to be like, yeah, man, like he was seeing because it was very evident what was going on in the world. I can't explain exactly what was going on in the world, but it was very intense time. It was a tense moment. Like it was tense things going on over the news, right? And I know it had to do with the financial system and other things as well, right? But we was talking. I'm at his house, and he was like, "Yeah," and he was just like basically agreeing, like, "Yo, this shit about to get real out here. It's about to really get real." So from that time, I guess from that point of the dream, then I end up driving by. It goes into another scene. nice, nice sunny day. I end up driving by my sister's house, and they having an event. Oh, and they always have an event. It's funny because in real life they always having some type of event. They Caribbean. I'll go. They celebrate every birthday, and I'll go, man. But her and her husband, right? So I drive by my sister, and they having some event, and again, I'm not even right. Like I said, I'm reading my notes. I don't speak to my sister at this time, but for some reason this time we made eye contact, and I pulled over when I see her to say hello. Then and if for some reason it wasn't like she was standoffish. She was more welcoming, and it was because. And I'm gonna tell you, then we started talking about current events and news. Like her husband always be asking me. I don't know how we started talking about current events and news, but he's always asking me, like, he always be asking me, like, even before I was got in the truth, he always asked me about the conspiracy theory stuff. Just always asking me questions, but not like mocking it, but just want to know, some I don't know. Just wanted to hear what I had to say about certain things, you know. But so this time we're talking about current events, news, and they was all outside. And this time they was more inclined to listen. Even my sister, she was listening, like yeah, like because again the climate of what was going on in the news, what was going on in the world, it was like they knew this. It was shit was getting really bad. So it was like they knew it was like yo, this whatever he's talking about. And what he said before, whatever that stuff he was talking before, this shit is coming to pass. Like it's happening. Like this shit is really getting bad. But they still, it wasn't bad yet, bad yet. Like it didn't happen. Like it wasn't crazy yet. It was still the the things that was going on in the news, the financial system about to collapse, and other things was happening that they knew was like, yo, shit's really it's gonna make it take a turn for the worse. All right, so I'm speaking to them about about the news. And this time they was more inclined to listen because things was getting bad. A major event in the news, something about money. And again, I'm just reading my bullets too, and then I'm adding my points from what I remember. That's why I think the Lord put it on my spirit to do it now, why I can remember it more. Right, but the major events in the news, something about money, something else as well. Can't fully remember. So this is what happened, right? So now again, like I said, it was like movies. So that scene was over with. And then another scene happened where now, so eventually the government shut down and whatever, the financial system collapsed. And, like it was bad. And you seen um, public officials, councilmen or whatever, they started quitting right off the ride, get this quitting on the job, right? Walking out on the job. It was like, and it was deep because like I said, I was like movie was like, cause I was during the vision, the dream, you see the councilman walking off the job and stuff like that. But I'm not in the scene. Like I'm not even in the scene. But it was like people walking off the job. People like fuck this shit. Like you know what I mean? This is done. Shit's over, right? So let me go back. End up leaving right on the job. So the day it happened, for some reason, yeah. So for the day when the day it happened, for some reason it goes back to the scene where I'm in, right? And for some reason, I don't know if it was, our dreams be just different. I don't know, they be just having their own plots to the dreams, right? Because, the Lord want to show you, right? So for some reason, I must be living with a family. I'm living like a family or in the same building with a family. So when it's happening, everything we seeing, people walking out on a job, the shit just hit shit, and it hit the fan like people outside going crazy, but government just shut down basically, and people was leaving the job. Shit was it, right? I guess whatever all the tension that was going on, it didn't and then it materialized. I mean, they didn't get to iron everything out, and the shit actually fell through, and I mean it broke basically. Things didn't go in a minute, and then people just started leaving their jobs, right? But I'm talking to the family. I was like, yeah, it's about to get real bad out here. Like, it's gonna get real bad. People, you know, they're gonna start bugging out. Basically all hell's about to break loose. And they all, even his family, was a mother and a wife, you know, and a boy and a girl. But I'm talking to the parents at the time, like if shit's about to get bad, right? So for some reason again, hold on, let me flip you up. Yep, I remember telling them shit about to hit the fan and all hell is about to break loose. And then we was having a convo. All right, and then for some reason my dream jumped to a scene where I'm in a church. I'm sitting next to the family. It was a packed church. And then all of a sudden, this Asian woman slit her own throat, and she was a few rows up. Right, so we in the church. I don't even remember even hearing a sermon, but we just in the church, like a town hall or whatever, and then Well, yeah, that's what it could have been a church or a town hall. Now that I think about it, I didn't really hear no pastor speaking, but maybe like a town hall because shit was going crazy. I don't know with the dreams. So we in this church or town hall. I'm sitting next to the family. It was packed, and all of a sudden, this Asian woman slit her own throat a few rows up. And all you heard screaming from people in the church or the town hall. And then everyone got up and started running. It was a lot of chaos. Chaos started to happen. People started to run out of the uh, um, church or whatever, or the town hall. People, and at the same time, while people was running out of the church, now you starting the chaos is starting to happen. People starting to attack each other. It was just crazy. It was like one of them scenes from one of those movies. Like, what was that movie? When they was in the church. I think it's shit. I don't know, it's with Samuel Jackson. The Kingsman? Yeah, I think it's The Kingsman. Yeah, but this one it was just started. It was just out of nowhere. Just soon as that lady slit her throat, it was like everybody was sitting down, it was calm, quiet. Soon as that lady, it was like the sign. It was like soon as that lady slit her own throat, and it was funny because it was like slow motion because she slit her own throat, and then she slit her own throat, and then as I look at her, she like looks like she's looking right at me, and then she just falls down. You know what I mean? Then as soon as she fall down, like as soon as she dropped down, that's when everybody started screaming. It was just chaos from that point on. It was mayhem, right? And then we running out of the church. Hold on, let's see. Let me go to the next. Yep. So we running out of the church. So I'm with the family, telling them to run and stay low. Like to stay low. Shit's going crazy all over the place. Stay low. People attacking each other. So I'm saying, so I run with the family, telling them to run and stay low. As we running out the building, and mind you, this is why it's spiritual as well. The whole time I'm just like calm and like it's like already, and I'm bringing up a few precepts, but I'm like calm and I'm not even like, it's like I knew that point was okay, this is it. It was like as soon as it happened, I was like, okay, boom, we're in the next phase. Shit's about to hit the fan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, we're in chaos. Like shit is hit the fan. I mean, we there now. So I'm running with the family, telling them to run and stay low. As we running out of the building, the family the family was a husband, wife, boy and girl. The children were between like 7 and 12, not sure. And again, I don't even know this family. I don't remember seeing this family, right? But for some reason, they was in my dream. And as we running out of the doors of the building, we get out, and nothing but mayhem, nothing but chaos outside. It's basically just everybody is just on some purge type, like some like not purge, but more like mix of purge, but like when those movies, the end of the world type of, the world, when everybody's outside just starting to run around looting, attacking each other. Every man for themselves, every man for themselves. It was crazy out there. As soon as we got out the doors, it was like that woman slitting her throat was like the sign of, that was it. It was like the snapping point. That was like people just snap. It was the turning point. As we run out the doors of the church, we get out. It was nothing but chaos outside. We took a right out of the doors, and that was, to me, I thought when I was writing this down, I was like, man. And when I was thinking about it, that was on Baller 2. We took a right out of these doors, right? We took a right out of the doors, but yeah, hold up. I wrote it over a card. Hold up, please. But yeah, for some reason, in the midst of the chaos, the children, like we was running, and the children, there was I guess they ended up getting separated, and they took a left out of the building, right? So me and the parents, so we stopped, and I run back to get the children. Like I told them we stop, and I'm like, yo, I'm running back to go get the children. Like they was children, like, again, like 7 to 12, so they was, they kind of, they was young, but they wasn't too young. right? They see me, so they stop briefly, right? They realize we got separated, so they stop briefly. But towards as I'm running towards them, a plane out of nowhere come from out of the sky and crash like 100 to 200 yards up. You know what I'm saying? Like right there, it was like crazy. It was like a plane just crashed right out of the sky. It was crazy because it's basically chaos. I guess people who's on the planes are being chaotic as well, and that's why the plane crashed. But the plane crashed 100, 200 yards up, and as I'm running towards them, the children, like I guess the son, he sees that, and he just, I don't know if he panics or what happened, but he continued to still run left. But the daughter, she stopped. She was like, she waited until I got there. He seen it. He's like, just when somebody's like in a panic mode, like they looking at like go, like I can't. I wish I could like they're like left. They're like left, right, left, right, left, right. So he was still doing that. Like he realized, he knew he wanted to still keep on running, but because it was crazy out there, it was like people attacking each other. But he couldn't wait long enough for me to run towards him, so he kept on running left. And then I ran and got the sister, and I was like, he kept on running. I was trying to tell him, come back, like, come on, like, come back, like, come this way. But he just kept running once he seen that plane crash. And then for some reason, he ran towards where the plane was. It was just crazy, right? So he ran, kept on running left. And then the sister, she come with me, but at that time, I'm running with the sister back to the mother and father, to the parents. I'm telling her sister, I'm like, it was deep. It was deep running. I'm like, yo, so I was telling like that. It's a high, it was deep. It was like, it's a high probability that was the last time you seen your brother. That was, you may never, you like telling her basically, you may never see your brother again. And it was funny because I ain't say couldn't, I was, even how I said it, I was like, it's a high probability. It's a high, because, I can't guarantee something. So it was like, I was like, it's a high probability you never seeing your brother again. That was the last time you seen your brother. And it was deep. So we run to the parents. Hold on, let me see. Cause now I'm like, I'm just going off while I'm in the spirit. I'm going back to the notes. Right, yep. The plane's crashing. It's basically almost over. Down, yep, and ran towards me, but the boy decided to keep on the left. As running back to the parents, I told her it was a very high probability that was the last time you seen your brother. We met up with the parents, and all right, yep. So we met up with the parents, and then we continued to start running in the direction where we was running. Then the dream ended, I woke up. But yeah. So reason why I maybe wanted to do this dream is because there's a few points in that dream that I thought of some scriptures. I'm gonna go grab them, but I'll start in the beginning. Starting with one. Matter of fact, I'll start with this one. I'll start with this one. The reason why, I was so calm in this dream and prepared spiritually and mentally, and like you see how I said not physically, like exercise profit little, so it does profit and all those things, but ultimately is the Lord supplementing you and keeping you in Him, right? Matter of fact, let me grab precepts. First Thessalonians 5. Yep. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right? And the reason why I'm bringing this out, because we know ultimately that day, that great day, is missiles. But it's all Jacob's trouble. All that's going to is going to lead up to those missiles, right? And Yahweh Shah cracking that sky, right? But it says, it's no need that I write unto you, and I had it because, see, the men of the Lord is measuring the time diligently. We're being circumspect, we're being we're watching, and as well as praying. We're doing the things that the Lord commanded us to do. We're watching, and we're also warning our people. All right. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness, right? And matter of fact, I'll get that precept as well, because yeah, man, that's why we're able to see, because we are the children, we are able to see what's going on. All right, Ephesians 5. This is what we right here. Where Ephesians 5:14. Wherefore he said, "For wake thou that sleepest, and rise from the dead, and Yahweh should give thee light." Right. See then that ye walk circumspectly. So we're seeing we're aware what's going on around us, not as fools but as wise. All right. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. See, but fools as wise, because why is that? Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom, right? Because that you are wise, right? And Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that times and strength of salvation. You see, because when I recap and you see my demeanor throughout the dream, the whole time I was just very even killed, just not even when shit hit the fan and all hell broke loose, I didn't panic. It was like I was stable. I had a sturdy foundation because of these scriptures, because of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Harakak Wadash, right? So, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You see, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. That's very important. See, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge, man. See, let's just get that real quick. Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. You see, so that's why throughout when I think of these scriptures, even when I was speaking to my brother, my god brother, I was speaking to my sister and her husband. It was this time they was looking things that I was telling them. They wasn't shunning it this time around. They knew shit was about to hit the fan. Matter of fact, what I got for that, Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33:33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, right? Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. So they knew at that moment. Like even in this, I wasn't around them when shit hit the fan, but we was right on the brink of it. It was right there. Cause all the chaos that was going, all the chaos that, not all the things that was going on in the news. They knew what chaos too that was going on in the news about the system collapsing, financial system or and other legislation not going through, and the separation between governments, and basically it was coming to an end. The way we operate through life, they seen it like, yo, this shit about to really get bad out here. So then when I was speaking to them, it wasn't like there was this time around. It was like, oh, this is they basically my regular name, but my the name, my slave name, right? This is him coming around. This oh, here you go, because that's how my brother-in-law always used to be. Like, he had that to me. Like, even though he asks questions, he still be like, oh, here you go, coming telling us, even before I got in the truth. So when I got in the truth, like I said in the beginning, but I also learned when I was, studying, watching videos, that your family ain't gonna get it. So it wasn't like I was going hard on them, but I already knew their temperature before, because when I used to tell them things that I learned when I was going down that rabbit hole with all those, like watching all those videos about how the inner workings of the world. right? So yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So but this time they listened and they was because they knew again like Ezekiel 33. And when this cometh to pass, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them, right? Then I don't want to make this too long. I'll just get a few more precepts. But they knew that a prophet was among them, all right? Yeah. What else I had? Um, I brought. You know what? I brought a few precepts. You know that was good, man. But yeah, man. That's basically I had a few more to mind when I was reading, but I made the point, man, just that, you know, these scriptures, man, through the other one about the desire, man, the Lord keep that spirit on us, man. So when those times do come to pass, when the shit hit the fan and Jacob's trouble spark off and shit gets crazy outside, that we're able to stay stable, stay level headed, and make it throughout that whole thing. Because even though the dream stopped, and then no, I didn't really know what happened next. You know, it was just to show you just a different how everybody was chaotic. I was the only one calm as I was leading the family out of the building, telling them to get low, run this way, go, let's go. Like it was just I wasn't even in panic mode. It was just I was already prepared for it. I was mentally and spiritually prepared for what that whole moment. And I pray when that moment do come, I'm in that mindset, you know. And it was deep because I have children for myself, and none of my children was in there. But even maybe it was symbolic, even with the young boy going the other way and stuff like that. You know, sometimes shit you gotta cut your you gotta cut your losses in those times. Like it's not you don't just have to you may have to leave your whole family. However, whatever may happen, now you pray that the Lord keep you stable, keep you grounded, and the Lord take care of you. But yeah, I just wanted to share that dream real quick. But yeah, man, it was crazy. Like when the recap, it was deep to how the dream played out, man. It was a beautiful thing. But call on like Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Makakudash.